What's happening, League fans, and welcome to the final episode of the season of The Blame Game, where I look at the top comments in the post-game discussion threads from Reddit for the third and fourth place match and the finals and decide if the blame there is justified or not. I'll start with the juiciest in-game topics, so that way you guys can close out the video halfway through and I move on to something you don't care about. CLG kept up their flair for the dramatics by squeaking out from another 5-game series that was decided in the last possible moments. The debate raged in the post-match thread and over the next couple of days over Stixxay and the new AD carry for CLG versus the old AD carry for CLG. I'll start this off by saying that generally there are two types of AD carries and I'm still kind of working on the name for them. The first style is a dominant style AD carry, the piglets, the double lifts, the forgivens who want to smash you as hard as possible. Beating you isn't enough for them, as we've seen Piglet cry after winning because he didn't feel like he played well. He wants you to know that he's the reason that they won and he dominated his opposition. These types of players are often very aggressive and look to push every advantage that they can. The other type of AD carry is the more team-oriented player, like Cop, Sneaky, Reckless, who are fine hanging back, slinging out DPS, and moving in for cleanup when the time is right. Obviously, these guys still want recognition too and want to play well, but they're often not the focal point of their teams. I would say historically, the public opinion has underrated the latter category of players often early in their career, as we saw Sneaky not really getting a ton of recognition until season 4-ish. This brings me to my next point, which is that neither of these styles is inherently better than the other. When I coached, I called it assignment in League of Legends, and the term assignment is one that's often used in regular sports, and basically what it's saying is that every player just needs to do what the strategy is asking of them. My personal Lord and Savior, Bill Belichick, was famous for saying, "Do your job," and a number of his other sayings apply just as well to League of Legends.
The reason why you won is because you identified the situation, you heard the call, and you did your job. And that's what execution is about. This game's about execution.
The two different styles of AD carries are asked to do two different jobs for their teams in order to win, and it comes down to the player's individual skill, their play style, and the strength of the team's play style. And people often focus on just the first one when discussing a player. A team like Liquid tends to be more bottom-centric because of each of their players' strengths, and their draft and in-game strategy reflects that as well. Finally, pulling all this back to Stixxay, what I'm saying is that he's a team-oriented AD carry who does his job on CLG extremely well. They don't ask him to carry and he's not a focal point for their team, so it's not really fair to directly compare him to players who are. It's true that in the regular season, his numbers weren't really that impressive, but in the postseason, he was the best performing AD carry and his DPM increased almost 200. The problem is that people took their perception of his performance in the regular season and started applying it to his performances in the postseason. Critics often just ignored his well-played fights, like this one where he's putting out good DPS, doesn't take the bait portal intelligently, and then quickly reacts to Bjergsen's LeBlanc. They were very quick to point out his mispositionings in certain team fights like this one, but people often ignored worse mispositionings from other players like Piglet in the same team fight getting caught in a Ryze W as Caitlyn. Quick random note from another fight Stixxay did play well. Holy shit, Runan's range is ridiculous. Now, do I think that Stixxay is better than Doublelift or the rest of the AD carries, or do I think he deserves the MVP over his teammates? I mean, no, maybe, not really, I don't know, but that's not the point. He had an absolutely amazing playoff performance and is getting railed on by the community. If the conversation was, how good is Stixxay? I don't know, I think Doublelift is still better, blah, 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 I could get behind it, but it's deteriorated into something so much worse. The community is way off on the blame for this one. Looking at the Afro versus Doublelift beef, I literally don't care. Moving on to the other series that was a stomp between Team Liquid and Immortals, there are 2 points to touch on quickly. First, Team Liquid got 4th again, as Reddit loves pointing out. Whoopee. Second, and more interestingly, is the debate of how good Immortals might actually be when they're playing things that are in meta. Personally, I think this series is a little bit of a stylistic mismatch, where Team Liquid is a team that is often over-aggressive and doesn't know when to pull back, and Immortals is a team that reads and reacts to situations extremely quickly. So when a fight breaks out mid and Team Liquid doesn't know when to call it off and just take some flashes, Immortals is the perfect team to collapse on this overextension. Chalking it all up to style, though, would be a massive disservice to Immortals' skill level, who I honestly think are probably still the best team in North America. That's not to say they deserve to win or anything because they had a horrible semifinal series, but when you look at how CLG, TL, and TSM all seem to stack up and what we've heard about their scrim results, it seems like Immortals is a little bit of an outlier here. It's not a secret that Team Liquid played pretty bad in their third, fourth place match versus Immortals, but I think Immortals is a lot closer to what they showed there, and we'll be able to see that in the best of threes coming in summer, so look for their domination then. That's it for the final episode for the Spring 2016 season, and thank God, get me out of here! Team Liquid's holding me hostage! I had a lot of fun with this series, and I'm happy it's continuing in the future. We'll probably be changing some things up between the splits, so let us know if you have any ideas, and I'm entertaining the idea of covering other regions, so let me know if you guys are interested in that or if I should stick to being the NA expert. Catch you guys next time. Please remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. For every new sub, Steve Liquid112 will donate $10 to charity. Now, he doesn't know I just said that, but he's gonna look like an a-hole if he tries to back out of it.